Hello friends, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. This video, as you can kind of see from the title, is called the Mid-Year Book Freakout Tag 2019, and a few weeks ago I saw this kind of going around. Originally I saw this video on Books and Lala's channel. I'll link it down below in the description, as well as the original creators. She has linked in hers as well. All that will be down below if you want to see the original videos and creators of this tag. But I saw it and I knew I wanted to do it because this tag is essentially just talking about all the books that you have read so far in the first half of the year, and I have read a whole bunch of good ones that I cannot wait to discuss with you today in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1, the best book you have read so far in 2019. Now for me, obviously I can't just pick one favorite book because there's too many good ones, but I'm gonna have to go with A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab, as well as Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I actually have 4 or 5 5-star books that I've read so far, but honestly within those 5 there's like my personal favorites. Even though they were like really good, some of them were just better to me. So A Gathering of Shadows is one of those examples for that. Like for example, as you can see here, I have the Shades of Magic trilogy here, and I gave both the first and second book 5 stars, but this one I seemed to just like a little bit more. I liked the new characters that were introduced, I liked the new plot, and I think that if I were to reread any book in the series, this would be my one to go to. I absolutely loved this book and this whole series. It's one of my top 3 now. If you want a good transition book to adult fantasy and you also want some amazing characters, romance, plots, magic, amazing, all the stuff, this series is for you, and this book makes it all worth it. Even the first book, the whole series is good. It's all worth it. Just read it. Excuse the interruption. I'm about to talk about Radio Silence by Alice Oseman and can you read this? I don't know if you can read this. Hello? Okay, screenshot. Paperback Dreams, aka Kat, my favorite YouTuber at the moment. Oh my god, she just replied to my DM. I'm crying. It's fine. I'm good. Okay. Also, Radio Silence. Now the reason I read Radio Silence in the first place is because Kat from Paperback Dreams loves this book so much. I'll link my video up here where I actually read the book. I talk a whole lot more about it. Basically, she loves this book so much and still does today. It's her favorite book of all time, and her like excitement about it and all that kind of stuff and constantly telling people to read it, I was like, I gotta read this book if she's promoting it this much. So I read it. I actually have listened to the audiobook twice and I've given it 5 stars each time I read it. It's absolutely amazing and it's so good in every single way. Just watch the video I named. It's absolutely amazing. Oh my god, it's probably gonna be one of my top books throughout the entire year because I don't think anything can really top it. It was just so good. So that's a little bit about that. Be sure to check out that video if you're interested in hearing more of my thoughts, but my best books of the year so far are definitely A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab and Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. Question number 2, the best sequel I have read so far in 2019. Again, I have 2 books for this, and as I previously said, Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. This is the second book in the Shades of Magic trilogy. Read it, it's amazing. I actually have a full-on spoiler review for this whole trilogy. You can go watch it if you're interested for more information. This sequel is definitely absolutely amazing. And my other book is School for Good and Evil, A Crystal of Time. This is the 5th book in the School for Good and Evil series. I have a video on this. Actually, if you want to go click it up there as well. It was really good. I'm planning on rereading it because I'm slightly concerned I was too hyped for the book to actually like properly like analyze it and give it like a good solid rating, but I gave it 5 stars. It was really awesome and I loved reading it. I had a great time reading it, so you know, if you want to read the first 4 books in the series to get this one, it's worth it. Number 3, new release that you have not read but want to. This one has to go to Broken Throne by Victoria Aveyard. I bought this book. It is actually signed by the author. I met her. You can click the video up here if you want to watch it. And basically, I want to read this book really badly, but I want to reread the whole Red Queen series first because this is a bunch of short stories and dives into stuff after the 4th and final book in the series, so I want to be able to remember all the details. I have plans to reread the whole series in the summer, so that's when I'm probably going to be getting to this magnificent book. Number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I cannot wait for Rebel by Marie Lu to come out. It is the 4th book in the Legend trilogy, and I actually don't know a whole lot about it, but I just know that we're going to revisit some favorite characters and revisit that whole world, and honestly, it's been like 4 years, I think, since I've read the Legend series. I'm gonna have to reread that whole series, and I'm planning to do a whole bunch of videos on it later on in the year before the book comes out, but I remember really loving it and all the characters and everything like that, so I am really excited for it. It comes out October 3rd, early October, something like that, and I cannot wait. Number 5, the biggest disappointment. Very sad, but Again but Better by Christine Riccio. I'm hoping to film a review on this book. I have a bunch of notes ready, but I was so excited for this book, and the first time I finished it, I honestly forgot everything I read as soon as I finished it. Like, I think I was just so absorbed in the hype that it kind of clouded my judgment when reading it. So I read the book again, and I actually ended up giving it like I think 2.5 stars out of 5, which is not really that good. It was honestly bordering the 2-star mark as well, but hopefully in that video I'll discuss a few more things about why I didn't like it and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that video if you're interested, but I was really hyped because I love Christine and all her videos she makes, but this book just didn't really live up to what I thought it was gonna be. Number 6, biggest surprise. So for this category, I chose The Kite Runner, and the reason I chose The Kite Runner is because I chose to read this book for my book club in my English class, and I honestly, every time you have to read something for school, it kind of takes the fun out of it a little bit for me, so that's why I thought I didn't like it. I annotated it pretty well, and I'm actually planning to have a review for this book coming hopefully soon. I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. While it was different than something I normally read, it did not stop it from being an amazing read and something I would definitely recommend if it is in your English class and you gotta do some annotations and stuff like that. This book's definitely worth the read. It's such an interesting story, and so stay tuned for my Kite Runner video if you want to learn more about it, but it's a really good read and I'm really surprised and happy that I actually liked it. Number 7, favorite new author, either debut or just new to you. Now for this, I am choosing Alice Oseman. She wrote Radio Silence, as I've already mentioned, and I also bought I Was Born for this by her, and I read a few first pages because I have to read something else, but I really liked how the book started off, so I cannot wait to read this. And honestly, while I haven't read that many books of hers, I've only read one, but I have absolutely fallen in love with her writing style and all that kind of stuff. I've watched a bunch of different her YouTube videos. I've read a little bit of I Was Born for This, and honestly I feel that all the books she's released are put in with so much care and thought, and they just seem like really up my alley. And for someone who's normally kind of a dystopian, like fantasy kind of person, these more like contemporary-esque stories kind of are really exciting that I get to enjoy because I don't normally like them as much. But her writing and concepts are all so amazing, and I cannot wait to read more of her books very soon. Number 8, newest fictional crush. Now for this, there's a whole bunch of people that are like pretty solid, but I'm gonna have to go with, from the Shatter Me series, I'm going with Aaron Warner. This is because his character development is really solid and his relationship with Juliet is really like plays with your heart. Oh my god, they're so good together. I love them, and I can't wait to see how their story ends together, but just everything they've gone to and how he's opened up to her just kind of made him a really awesome person. So maybe not a crush for me, but definitely like one of my favorite characters just to read about, because I think seeing from where he's gone to where he is now is just really cool. Number 9, newest favorite character. Now I don't have one just favorite character because how can we pick one? Exactly, we can't. I have 3 favorite characters, and they are from the Shades of Magic trilogy. It is Kel, Lila, and Holland. These are kind of like the main 3 in that series, and I absolutely love them so much. Kel is just a soft sweetheart, but he's also like super awesome in every single way. Lila, oh my god, she is phenomenal. There's so many good quotes of hers. She's probably one of my favorite characters of all time, to be honest. I kind of just love her so much. And Holland is actually not that great of a character to read about until you get to A Conjuring of Light. But from there, like after I finished the series, I was like, man, Holland deserves everyone's love. Even though he doesn't, but like, he does, okay? Number 10 and number 11, I don't know how to do that one. A book that made you cry and a book that made you happy. So I'm combining these 2 questions together because the book I chose for the category is one and the same. While I did not cry during this book, there were definitely some super emotional parts that definitely almost got me to, and happiness was just throughout this whole book. It is none other than Radio Silence by Alice Oseman, and yeah, I can't wait to read more of Alice Oseman's books because Radio Silence was definitely one of my all-time favorites. I've recommended it to so many people now because it is just absolutely phenomenal in every single way. If you're in high school or first year of university college, I definitely think you can benefit from reading this book and definitely relate to a lot of the characters. Number, I don't know how to do this anymore, 12, the prettiest book you have received or bought for yourself. And so for this, I'm going with all the books in the Shatter Me series, really, but my favorite one probably was Ignite Me. This one, I don't know if you can see all these colors happening on here, but each of the books basically have a different eye and like different colors surrounding them. So this one is more like bluish tone, but I really liked the like gardeny vibes of this one. So this is my favorite, prettiest book of the year so far. I also really like Broken Throne. There's like some shininess on the crown here, some like purple ombre stuff going on, and it's just really, really pretty, and I really, really just love it with all my heart. And finally, question number 13, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I actually have a whole bunch of things I really, really want to read. I am planning on reading the Hunger Games series, hopefully within the next week or two, as well as over the summer I want to read the Red Queen series. I want to hopefully finish the Throne of Glass series by the time the year is up. And I also am going to be reading the Legend trilogy in like September-ish in preparation for Rebel coming out. So quite a few books that I want to read. Not sure I'm going to get to all of them, but I have plans in place, so hopefully it happens. I also want to read the rest of Alice Oseman's books. I Was Born for This, Solitude, and then she also has like a graphic novel comic thing called Heartstopper, and there's 2 volumes of that, so I want to read that. So because I just want to read more of her books, because her first book that I read was absolutely amazing. So that is all the questions for the mid-year book freak out tag 2019. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions about any of the books that I read and you want to ask me something about it, feel free to leave a comment down below, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I will see you all very soon with a new video, so until then, bye.